Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Texas Talk 1846, and this is my first gun review. Um, this review is going to be about my revolver, my first revolver that I've ever bought, and it is my first revolver that I've ever shot. Um, so my experience with it is kind of low. One of the reasons why I bought this particular revolver is it was very inexpensive, and another also because the manufacturer seems to be making some good handguns. Um, I bought this revolver on budsgunsshop.com it was listed for $204. So, I bet you everyone's like, man, what kind of piece did he buy? But it is a nice looking revolver. And before I show you, let me just tell you, firearm safety is your responsibility. Okay, this is it. Let me do a safety check. As you can see, there are no rounds in the cylinder. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this revolver. It is from Rock Island Armory. The parent company of them is Armscor. Um, this handgun was built in the Philippines, as all their firearms. Um, this is their Model 200 in 38 Special. 6 rounds. It has a packerized finish, the greenish packerized finish that everyone is familiar with on their 1911s and the GI models. Um, some of the dimensions, just to go over it real quick. It is a 4-inch barrel. The overall length is 8.78 inches. Um, the height is 5.38 inches. The width is 1.44 inches. And the weight is 28 ounces, which is 1.76 pounds. So it is a nice size revolver. It has fixed sights, as you can see there. There's no markings, no coloring of any kind on them. It has a wide serrated hammer. It has a polished trigger on both sides, and it's also wide. Um, it has a transfer bar system for the safety, as you can see right there. This piece right here, and that's to prevent. Well, the firearm is actually modeled after the Colt Detective Special. It has the same kind of look to it, even though a lot of the internals are different, but that's what it's modeled by. And on the Colt, the firing pin was actually attached to or was a part of the hammer, and which was kind of unsafe because if you had a chamber or you had a cartridge loaded in, and for some reason if something hit the hammer, it could fire it off. So they went to this transfer bar system to prevent that, and that's pretty much the only safety feature that is on it. As far as the hammer, it has a coil spring inside underneath the grip, and the grip is plastic. It's a hard plastic grip, not the best grip in the world. Um, Other than that, there's not much to it. It's very easy to take apart, very easy to clean. It is a double single action. As far as the double action, it's 11.6 pounds to 13 pounds. Single action is 4 to 6.5 pounds. And when shooting it at the range, single action is awesome. I mean, it's very, very nice. I mean, it doesn't have much trigger pull on it at all, But the double action, it does. I mean, it is a little heavy. So it's better to shoot it in single action. Um, let's see, what else can I say about it? The bullet grain that it's recommended is 110 through 158 grain. It's not plus P rated, so I wouldn't even attempt to try to shoot anything through here. Like I said, this is the low end on the spectrum of revolvers as far as you know, I guess durability and quality. Who knows? Um, Rock Island Armory seems to be putting out some really nice firearms. Real inexpensive. So it's hard to say. Can this revolver hold up to 5,000 to 10,000 rounds? Who knows? But hopefully, over the course of time that I own it, I'll be able to figure that out. I know one thing that when I got it, um, when I took it out of the package, it was covered with a lot of oil. I mean, it had a lot of grease and everything in it, and that's just how they all come. But it was, man, it was everywhere. So I went ahead and I took it, I stripped it down as best I could. I took off the cylinder, the whole, the arm and everything, and I wiped everything down, cleaned out the barrel, cleaned out the um, firing pin area, took off the grips just to see how everything is in there. Even took off this plate um, and really wiped it down. Cleaned it with solvent and reapplied some lubricant on it, which you should do with any firearm that you own, especially if they're brand new, because you don't know how long they've been sitting in warehouse or how long they've been sitting on the shelves at the stores that you might buy them at. And also if they're used, I mean, especially if they're used, buying them at pawn shops or whatever. I mean, the people that sell them, they don't clean them at all. And but that's just something that you have to do. So I went ahead and I cleaned it, and and then we went out and shot it. Um, my son and I went to the range, and we put through 100 rounds in this thing and had no problems, no misfires. No anything, no failures with the trigger, the hammer, or cycling through. Nothing. It shot clean. As far as how my aiming went, well, I shot a little high from the bullseye at 7 yards and even at 15 yards. It took some time to get used to because I'm so used to semi-automatics. But it shot well. I mean, all my shots were in that same area of where I was shooting. So, and towards the end of it, I was able to get them more inside the bullseye area. So, with time, I'll be able to be, you know, a very good shot with it. I think it's not a handgun that I'm going to be using for self-defense or anything like that, but it is something cool to take to go shoot. I mean, a lot of the revolvers out there, like Rugers and Smith and Wesson, they're expensive, and this is something that is very, very, very reasonably priced. And Rock Island Army has been making a good name for themselves, so you know, I don't see anything wrong with it. Um, some of the things I want to do with it is I want to buy a better grip for it, probably a Hogue style grip that they have. A little bit maybe a softer rubber because this is a hard plastic. And then I also want to put some paint up here at the front sight because there's nothing on there. I just want to put about a 1/4 inch strip of red paint up here, and with that I'll be using some some test oars rather. Probably be using something like this. This is a flat red. Be putting some of that on there, or maybe even this dark red. I'm not too sure which one, but I'll be doing that soon. Put some spirits on there, clean it up, and then put a nice coat on there and see how that works out. But other than that, that's about all I probably will do to it. Um, the Recoil Spring, I mean, it's rated at 11.6 to 13 pounds, so I mean, there's not much more I can really do to it. as far as getting a lighter pound one. Because I think with that type of coil and other handguns, the factory comes with a 15 pound, so the the ones that you can buy would be 11 to 13 pounds, so it's already at that, so there's not much I can do on that. But it's a fun revolver to shoot. And I like the look of it. It has that old style revolver look to it, and I like that much better than the newer versions of what's coming out or what's been out. From Smith and Wesson and Ruger and Taurus and Rossi. Those are all nice. They look cool, but I like something like this in this size. You know, it's kind of a similar size to my semi-automatics, and that's the kind of revolver I like. It just has a nice look to it. As far as going to the range, let me move this out of the way and show you. We shot, like I said, 100 rounds. And if you don't have any of these cases, these are really good cases. You put your rounds in, cover it up, shoot. You don't have to worry about anything happening to the rounds that are inside. And it's just much easier to use. We shot 50 rounds of this Federal ammunition that we've got at Walmart. It's a 158 grain lead round, and those are these 50 up here up front. And you could see somewhat. There's really good strikes on those. As far as this particular type of ammunition, this 158 grain, I really didn't like it too much. So I was lucky that I had a different kind, and this is this Remington UMC, and this is 130 grain. This is a flat nose style bullet, or so style, style bullet. And same thing, good striker marks on there, fire pin marks. And like I said, I had no problems with it. So we'll see in time. But I don't plan to shoot this thing every weekend or whatever. I just want to do it on a leisurely basis. Put 50 to 100 rounds every time I do go, but we'll see how that goes. But overall, I really liked it. It is it's nice. It's real easy to shoot, real easy to clean, and that's about it. I mean, there's not much more that you can really do. I mean, you're gonna have some lemons out there sometimes, depending on when they were made, or Mondays or or whatever. But so far, this one's been doing well, or it's done well. So hopefully you enjoyed, and you might go out there and purchase one yourself. I mean, it's very inexpensive and has a nice, old style military, early, early century kind of look to it, and then, that's one of the things I liked about it, like I said. And that's about it. So hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see y'all around.